The Perks of Being a Wallflower, page 87, May 11th, 1992. Dear friend, I've been spending a lot of time with Patrick these days. I haven't really said much. I just kind of listen and nod because Patrick needs to talk. But it isn't like it was with Mary Elizabeth. It's different. It started out on the Saturday morning after the show. I was in my bed trying to figure out why sometimes you can wake up and go back to sleep and other times you can't. Then my mom knocked. Your friend Patrick's on the phone. So I got up and I wiped the sleep away. Hello? Get dressed. I'm on my way. Click. That was it. I actually had a lot of work to do since it was getting closer to the end of the school year, but it sounded like we might be having some kind of adventure, so I got dressed anyway. Patrick pulled up about 10 minutes later. He was wearing the same clothes he wore the night before. He hadn't showered or anything. I don't even think he went to bed. He was just wide awake with coffee and cigarettes and mini thins, which are these small pills you can buy at a Quickie Mart or truck stops. They keep you awake. They're not illegal either, but they make you thirsty. So I climbed into Patrick's car, which was filled with cigarette smoke. He offered me one, but I said, not in front of my house. Your parents don't know they smoke? No. Should they? I guess not. Then we started driving, fast. At first, Patrick didn't say much. He just listened to the music on the tape player. After the second song started, I asked him if it was the mixtape I made for him for Secret Santa. I've been listening to it all night. Patrick had this look all over his face. It was a sick smile, glazy and numb. He just turned up the volume and drove faster. I'll tell you something, Charlie. I feel good. You know what I mean? Like good. Like I'm free or something. Like I don't have to pretend anymore. I'm going away to college, right? It'll be different. You know what I mean? Sure, I said. I've been thinking about it all night, what kind of posters I want to put up in my dorm room, and if I'll have an exposed brick wall. I've always wanted an exposed brick wall so I can paint it, you know what I mean? I just nodded because this time he didn't really wait for a sure. Things will be different. Sorry. They will be, I said. You really think so? Sure. Thanks, Charlie. That's kind of how it went all day. We went to see a movie, we ate pizza, and every time Patrick started getting tired, we got coffee, he ate another mini thin or two. When things started turning dusk outside, he showed me all these places where he and Brad would meet. He didn't say much about them. He just stared. We ended up at the golf course. We sat on the 18th green, which was pretty high on a hill, and we watched the sun disappear. By this point, Patrick had bought a bottle of red wine with his fake ID and we passed it back and forth just talking. Did you hear about Lily? He asked. Who? Lily Miller. I don't know what her real first name was, but they called her Lily. She was a senior when I was a sophomore. I don't think so. I thought your brother would have told you. It's classic. Maybe. Okay, stop me if you've heard it. Okay, so Lily comes up here with this guy who's the lead in all the plays. Parker. Right, Parker. How did you know? My sister had a crush on him. Perfect. We were getting pretty drunk. So Parker and Lily come up here one night and they're so in love. He even gave her his thespian pin or something. At this point, Patrick is spitting out wine between sentences. He's laughing so hard. They even had a song, something like Broken Wings by that band, Mr. Mister. I don't even know, but I hope it was Broken Wings because it would make the story perfect. Keep going, I encouraged. Okay, he swallowed. So they've been going for a long time, and I think they've even had sex before. But this is going to be a special night. She packed a little picnic, and he had brought a boombox to play Broken Wings. Patrick just couldn't get over that song. He laughed for 10 minutes. Okay, I'm sorry. So they have this picnic with sandwich bags and everything, and they start to make out. The stereo's playing, and they're just about to do it when Parker realizes he's forgot the condoms. They're both naked on this putting green. They want each other, and there's no condom. So what do you think happened? I don't know. They did it doggy style with one of the sandwich bags. No, was all I could say. Yes, was Patrick's rebuttal. God, was my counter. Yes, was Patrick's conclusion. After we shook off the giggles and wasted most of the wine with spit takes, he turned to me. And you want to know the best part? She was the valedictorian and everybody knew it when she went up to give her speech. There's nothing like taking deep breaths after laughing that hard. Nothing in the world like a sore stomach for the right reasons. It was that great. So Patrick and I shared all the stories we could think of. There was this kid named Barry who used to build kites in art class. Then after school, he would attach firecrackers to the kite and fly it and blow it up. He's now studying to be an air traffic controller. Patrick via Sam. And then there was this kid named Chip who spent all of his money from allowance and Christmas and birthday presents to buy bug killing equipment, and he would go door to door asking if he could kill the bugs for free. My story via my sister. There was this guy named Carl Burns, and everyone called him CB, and one day CB got so drunk at a party he tried to fuck the dog's host. Patrick's story. And then there was this guy they called Action Jack because he was supposedly caught masturbating at a drunk party, and at every pep rally the kids would clap and chant, Action Jack, Action Jack. My story, my brother. There were other stories, other names. Second base Stace, who had breasts in the 4th grade and let some of the boys feel them. Vincent, who took acid and tried to flush a sofa down the toilet. Sheila, who allegedly masturbated with a hot dog and had to go to the emergency room, and the list went on. By the end of it, all I could think about was what these people must feel like when they go to their class reunions. I wonder if they're embarrassed. I wonder if that's a small price to pay for being a legend. After we sobered up a bit with coffee and many things, Patrick drove me home. The mixtape I made for him hit a bunch of winter songs. And Patrick turned to me. Thanks, Charlie. No, I meant in the cafeteria. And after that, he was real quiet. He drove me home and pulled in the driveway. We hugged goodnight, and just as I was about to let go, he held me a little tighter. He moved his face to mine and he kissed me. A real kiss. And then he pulled away real slow. I'm sorry. No, that's okay. Really, I'm sorry. No, really, it was okay. He said thanks and he hugged me. And he moved in to kiss me again. And I just let him. I don't know why. We stayed in his car for a long time. We didn't do anything other than kiss. And we didn't even do that for very long. After a while, his eyes lost this glazy, numb look from the wine and the coffee or the fact that he'd stayed up the night before, and he just started crying. Then he started talking about Brad, and I just let him, because that's what friends are for. Love always, Charlie.